Asbestos is all around us. Many of the hair dryers we use, to the ceilings in some schools, as well as in insulation. Health officials say there's a correlation between asbestos exposure and cancer. The biggest threat is to people who deal directly with the material, such as shipyard workers. A National Cancer Institute survey shows Tidewater is one of the leading areas in the incidence of mesothelioma, which is caused by asbestos, as 73 cases were reported between 1972 and 1978. According to Dr. Edward George, there's good reason to believe that because area shipyard workers are exposed directly to asbestos, that accounts for the high rate.
We know that asbestos, number one, has a very strong relationship with the development of the tumor.
Several lawsuits have been filed by workers and their families at the Norfolk Naval Shipyard and the Newport News Shipyard against the manufacturers of asbestos because of deaths resulting from the disease, which is almost always fatal.
The disease has a very poor prognosis long term, and most patients are dead within a year.
Although only 73 cases were diagnosed in 6 years, Dr. George says because it takes almost 40 years for mesothelioma to show up in the chest and abdominal linings, he expects to see the rate increase substantially.
It may be that, and it very likely is, that the incidence of the tumor will rise because of the fact that the tumor often develops many years after the exposure, the initial exposure.
Because it takes mesothelioma so many years to develop after exposure, Dr. George says one of the most frightening aspects is that we may be seeing just the tip of the iceberg of this disease. Mike Deason, Area 10 Eyewitness News.